I miss your sister. We gotta. I don't know. We gotta contact your sister. Hey, everybody. By the way, shit. Yeah, we have to do that today, just to find out what. Hold on, guys. Hey, Froggy. I saw your email. Maybe we'll check that out when I get back. 5 p.m. and this is how much sunlight we get. I don't get much sunlight because I'm not up during daylight hours. Hey, Michelle Davis. Yeah, we might have to go over that, and as long as it's not like a talking shit about Ziggy and Fred every 2 seconds. Even though, yeah, I mean, I imagine she says some stuff, but it's okay. Whatever. So, I've been like taking a lot since last night. And I remember, actually, about 2 years ago. See, this is when they were first starting to arrange this documentary and stuff. And I suspected it. I talked about it even on here. But I remember, Tiffany and Benny trying to, well, really Benny trying to get me to get Fred to talk to him. So I think at first, like, it was going to be, but this was 2 years ago, though. So, anyways, I'm mentioning that because I was talking how biased the whole thing is in the narrative that they're trying to spin. Hey, country girl. Yova. I wonder if they'll sell me a bag of that coffee. That guy might. Fred loves this, it's hard for him. It's called, I'm trying to think the name of the coffee. It's Colombian, but what, I forget the brand name. What's the brand name? Okay. Cadillac. That's it. Cadillac Coffee Company. The Colombian blend. That's what they have here. I checked. And I was looking online. For it, I was thinking about getting it because he loves the coffee here so much. Yes, Bandit, I see you over there. Hey, Sharon. Yeah. Well, I just grab one and I'll ask them. I'll see if he'll sell me it. All right. Hey, Juniper. It sometimes takes some time for them to everybody to get in here. Let me make sure my card's unlocked. Don't freaking. I will use going to this gas station. The owner's here. I don't know if I'll sell it to him or not. me one of these? You don't sell it? Okay. You can have it from my side. Okay, one for this one time. One for one time. Thank you. We don't sell those. Okay. Those are for us all. Okay. We like that coffee. That's why I was like. Well, if you want, I can order a little box for you. Oh yeah? How much is the box? I can just look online. It's fine. Look online. Huh. Well, if you end up checking and let them know up here. I will let him know so he can let me know how much the box costs. Okay. Awesome. Sounds good to me. All right. Thank you. Whoa! Okay, sorry about that. I was trying to get it. Oh, 111 in chat. She want me to go. I guess I should have got a cup too, but the owner wasn't there, and he told me no at first. But then he said he could order us a big box if we want. We could buy a box off him, and that he's gonna look for us to see how much a box is and go let him know. But he gave us this one for free this time. But usually they won't do it. I guess they don't want to. They don't want to cut. That cuts them out. So, hey, Pinkman. Oh man. It does look like snow. Anyways, yeah, let's talk about last night. I heard that some people went live about it. Did you Sue? She was. Was she cussing me? Well, it's pretty funny how they were big time rivalries, and then this whole thing happens. If you guys remember, they Krama Mama and Gavel Geeks. I mean, oh my gosh, couldn't stand Jenny Sue. It was And yeah, I know they still talk shit, but it was bad. And then once they went to Tennessee and that whole thing happened, suddenly it just stopped, and we're going to stop talking about Summer Wells. And they lied to you all on why. But, you know, they want to call Fred such as a liar. Well, they're sitting here trying to create a narrative and change things surrounding a child's case, which is absolutely disgusting. And we're not going to turn this into, oh, it's a good thing for exposure. Yeah, it would be if it was done the right way, not done trying to create a narrative and trying to curve public opinion and trying to change what actually happened. Jay, so she on purpose did not speak properly last night. Oh, really? What do you mean? Like she just acted all fucked up to death, as Fred says? Yeah. They're saying that she was like, I don't know if, you know, the days that she is completely not, I don't know, on the days that you can understand her, I don't know if that means she's like less like inebriated. I wonder how much 1 second. All right. Here's that. Yeah, and that's why it was so good last time, because it was fresh. I had just made it, you know, Fred. And I just stood in the gas station and waited for it to brew the whole time. Oh, that's only how many cups does that make? 4. You could probably save half of that. got so excited. You received half of it. Oh my gosh, we hit the lotto. Yeah, because their pot there is like a 10 to 12. Their pot there is like 12 or something. So yeah. 1 second, guys. I'm going to go back to the computer. I don't know where I put my card this time. Uh-oh. Get you. Hold on. I put it in my bra, but oh, hold on. It's probably in my jacket. Yeah, there it is. It's like I never lose my cards. What the fuck? I'm like really good at keeping an eye on my cards. Kaylin, here's some Pringles and drink. Here. Okay, well, it's in here. Come here, Bandit. Let me take off your leash. Okay. Okie dokie, guys. Where's all the mods at? I don't know. Maybe I should share it. I didn't share it, so here, I'll do that real quick. Okay, we'll do there. If you get a dupe and you're already in here, sorry. I'm just going down the list. Well, I've only been live for 23 minutes, and honestly, like about 45 minutes is when that's about when it seems like everybody's in chat. When you get to your peak. It takes a while. That's why that's why it sucks, like talking about things when you first go live, because it takes like an hour for everybody to get in there. Yeah. Why he does that music and stuff, but still, that just deters people too, to like not go in your chat, because they know it's going to be just music, and then next thing they know, they miss your stream because they forget to go back. Okay, let me moving around. Hey, Lisa, Tanya. Really? You need to watch yesterday's live stream. Both of them. Anybody who missed them. Because we've got some sneaky snakes in the community. Trying to pull a fast one. which I don't know. This has not worked out too well because here we are, like, how many years later, and enough about the debt. Well, good gravy. You don't have to come in here. Ta-ta. I'll talk about it as much as I fucking want. You just don't want people to know your little buddies are freaking sneaky snakes and liars. And trying to manipulate a child's investigation that they claim that they care so much about. That's a big deal. Sorry, I'm not going to stop talking about that one for a while. Usually, I'm a one and done type person when it comes to YouTube, but not this one. This one is a big deal, in my opinion, because you're trying to alter how people view what happened to Summer Wells. You're doing it by purposely trying to make somebody look a certain way. And that's the thing. It'd be one thing if you're just doing your documentary to bring awareness to Summer Wells. That would be awesome. But that's not, there's an agenda here. If you're sitting here around trying to rally the community together to believe a certain way and try to portray Andy as this, and keep out, just happen to keep out of the documentary that he was seen on the road that day. That's a problem. That's a major problem. I'm sorry. And I don't care who says differently. Hey! She left her unwanted comments under your live. Did you block her? You guys, if I did something like that, I would have been completely exiled from the community. Like, seriously. It's not okay. I don't care who did it. I don't care. It could be, I don't care who in the community it is. Whether I like you or I don't like you. I'm gonna be pretty shitty no matter who it is that's trying to purposely manipulate her case. Because you have a documentary that you want to be successful. Because you have Andy Bernard as your main focus in this documentary. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to pull you up on my computer and having some issues. I don't know exactly what they're leaving out, Tim, but I do know that they're trying to make Andy into be the helpful neighbor that's just trying to help the case. Tiffany, why do you seem so freaking like concerned about what I am saying? Why? I don't understand. I thought you're not a part of it anymore. Are you still a part of this thing? Why are you like, it's confusing? You're confusing. Well, I know that you called me 2 years ago. I remember. I talked about it on my channel, Tiffany. I talked about it several times that I knew that I could tell something was up, and I wondered if they were doing if you guys were doing a documentary. I've talked about this. Then you guys called me and you tried to get Benny in contact with Fred. I don't know. I can't tell you what they're putting in the documentary or for sure or not. But what I do know is how they're portraying Andy and how they're here on YouTube trying to make him look a certain way, and they have NDAs. So you see, the way you're acting like freaked out, it's like, why are you so freaked out on what I know about this freaking documentary? Like, you seem worried. Why? That's what it seems like. You seem worried. It doesn't seem like you want to expose them. It seems like you're worried about what I know. I mean that respectfully. It just seems like that's why I'm confused. How am I not being honest? What am I not being honest about? What am I not being honest about, Tiffany? What is it that you why are you upset about? So now are you going to suddenly turn into a supporter of them because you're wanting some drama or something? What is going on? Well, it needs to continue to be exposed. It needs, this is a big deal. They're still continuing to they're not focusing on you, Tiffany, and your marriage, and trying to make your marriage and your husband look a certain way and make him seem like the prime suspect. Okay, so I kind of have a little bit of I have a little bit of passion in what I'm doing because of that. Then what am I lying about, Tiffany? I already knew it was happening. All I needed was the confirmation and and I hear about NDAs and stuff, and it was the confirmation that I needed. And by your way you're acting, I can tell it's the truth. I mean, I already know it's the truth, but how is this about Fred, Tiffany? You're turning, okay, I'm going to block you right now because you're being ridiculous. This is not, you're turning it around about that. Fred was a witness that day, Tiffany. What aren't people going to get through their heads that he saw Andy on the road that day? That's pretty fucking important. And then we're going to have the main character of a documentary, a suspect, acting like he's this friendly, caring neighbor when he knows what happened to Summer. That's my issue. Don't come in here and interrogate me about my feelings and why I feel the way I do when this is completely not okay. She just wants me to tell who told me this stuff. That's why why? Why? You should be on my side. You're worried because you guys were involved early on. And you're afraid what I know. And I know things that happened that you know happened. And you're afraid. Why are you so afraid, Tiffany? It's really strange. You were the last person I would really be thinking that was going to have a problem with what I'm saying. This is about Summer Wells and trying to paint a fucking narrative is a problem. And you and anybody else who just wants to fight and something to talk about on their channel can think of whatever they want or turn around my motives and in what way you want. But I know my motives and I know exactly what I'm saying, and what I'm saying is, and why I'm upset is the truth. And that's why many people are upset. She's saying I'm not being honest just because I'm not telling who freaking told me. It was like literally 2 little paragraphs of information. And she's acting like, I have all this freaking intel. What is it that what doesn't she think I would want something to be out there if I had something damaging? Like, I put everything out there. I don't know. It'd be different if she contacted me privately and been like, and told me her concerns. But something's weird about how she comes in here immediately and freaking out, like almost like, oh, we talked about this years ago, like we shouldn't talk about it or something. No, Tiffany didn't end up going as far as I know, but she supposedly, they backed Tiffany and Benny. They were a part of the communications and stuff, and they were supposed to go, but something ended up happening. If you remember that whole argument between Benny, it's like a couple years ago when everything fell apart. And Benny was calling him out about a documentary and stuff. Skilo does work for a production company and was trying to pitch a show for Netflix. The problem with with my issue with it is that I was told that they are trying to paint Andy as this friendly, helpful neighbor who just wants to help find Summer Wells, which is it can't be further from the fucking truth. It's a lie. And then we're not going to even put the whole story out there is my issue. Why? That's a pretty big part of the story, don't you think? Andy being on the road? That's that's a big thing to leave out. And whether or not we know, nothing we have is fact. And you can say, oh, well, that's just hearsay. Well, so is every fucking thing else. So everybody, the truth, the whole truth needs to be put out. Whoever fucking does it, I don't care. But I think that it needs to be done. And I think the person who had the experience is the one that needs to talk on it. Fred doesn't even want to be part of any stupid documentary. Like, you would have to basically drag him out of here to be part of a documentary. Like, seriously. He really is not excited about attention on him and stuff. So, and me personally, I don't like a lot of attention on me either. Kind of makes me uncomfortable. I don't know, Bella. Maybe Tiffany did think I was keeping something a secret and not, and maybe that's why she was irritated or something, but I'm truly not. I don't, she's the one that would have secrets about it, and why didn't she tell? She's the one that needs to tell, is not being honest. She's the one that would have information, not me. There's others too that hasn't even been mentioned that were a part of it. Now I'm not even going to pull into this. But why did Andy's own son take a restraining order on him? I'm trying, Loomis. I just don't like being represented, like my words being changed, and my and somebody like Tiffany, who's we're supposed to be on the same side, coming in here interrogating me and my and what I'm trying to say, on top of, it doesn't help the message when you're sitting here like doubting what I'm saying. For what reason? Just because you think I'm not telling everything and that I have some juicy details? Well, gosh, you lived it, Tiffany. You were a part of it for a big part of the time. You know way more than I know. Why don't you tell what you know? I know PG's just making up shit about Fred, but it is what it is. So I wouldn't have to testify, get lost. Really? I don't think that's a real thing at all. That I wouldn't have to testify. Me and Fred were not married when it happened. He's absolutely not sus. There's nothing sus about Fred. You're making up shit in your head, you and your little cronies, to try to make Andy look a certain way. Because now we see more of a motive. Follow the money, right, guys? It's always about fame and fortune. She was saying that she called them out before. Yeah. And that's fine. And I know that. I'm not trying to take away her freaking clout for calling them out or Benny's at all. I'm not trying to steal their thunder. But maybe they didn't do a good enough job of making people realize what was really going on. Because I know a whole hell of a lot of people that act like that seem to have never have ever heard anything about this before. And also, all I can think about is how they were acting after. If you guys if you have not been here for 2.5 years, then I'm sorry, like, you really can't comment on this because you have to know how they were acting before that trip, and then how they were acting after, and the stuff that they were telling people and lying. And suddenly we're BFF with Don and Candace because they sold their soul to the devil. That's coward pieces of shit. I'm sorry. That's disgusting. If you could be bought, no. You're not any type of advocate for a child. You can be bought for a price, for a little bit of attention. And no, just because you do Summer's Day to arrange that doesn't make you some type of, just because somebody does one good act doesn't make them a completely, just, it just completely washes away any type of bad they ever have done. Oh, yay. Thank you, Rosemary. I love surprises. And you guys know, you guys don't think I already know that how people are going to spin my words and turn things around. Like this has been my life for 3 years. Still haven't got you guys pulled up on my computer because I've been walking around. So why couldn't they, if it's not a big deal and if it's a good thing, why can't they just be open about it and talk to people and tell all about it? Just like they tried to, oh, we're not going to talk about summer wells anymore. Oh, we decided you guys are so fucking fake. You're disgusting. We're not going to talk about summer wells anymore. It's just made up some fucking stupid lie on why you couldn't show and you never showed any of your footage from your trip and made up lies and lied to everybody. Why didn't you show any footage? Oh, probably because you signed waivers and NDAs stating you wouldn't. There's a reason why you can tell people you were filming for a documentary. You don't have to be quiet about that. There's a reason why you're keeping quiet. Because you know your intentions are not good here. Otherwise, why can't you just let people know? Like, that's a good thing to bring attention to Summer Wells and her being missing, right? Okay, here we go. Switch over to my computer. Yeah, that's what I was feeling with Tiffany. She was like, that's what I was feeling. Like, it's not about who put out what or who, like, I understand. I know that Benny and Tiffany put this already out. And I'm not trying to steal. I don't care about any type of, it was them that originally put it out. It's just that obviously it didn't sink in good enough because here we are 2 years later and a lot of people are completely unaware. My guess is Tiffany and Benny have remained kind of quiet and not completely told everything because they were a part of it too. So what kind of shit can they talk, you know? But on their behalf, they did try to get a hold of Fred. It did seem like they were trying to get the whole story. So I don't know. Not part. I give them that they weren't trying to like hide certain parts of the story. Everyone that has been following this case know that Dawn, Candace, Grandma, and Andy and Jody Sue know a whole lot. Jody Sue even said the horrible things about Andy. I'm going to be in Brazoria City Saturday. My daughter is taking me to see Chelsea Handler. Oh my gosh, I love Chelsea Handler. That's so fun, Rosemary. So I got an email that said, somebody was wanting to know, what is this about Candace going to Fred's the day Summer went missing? PG was talking about it, and I never heard about her going to Fred's at all that day. So, as far as, first of all, Prairie Gardens, of course, not telling it completely the truth, I'm guessing. I didn't listen. But as far as what Candace going there, she didn't go there. She drove by there. That's what she was driving by there pretending to look for Summer. If you hear me, the person that emailed me, can you let me know so I don't have to write an email back? I just want you to hear. Remember the whole Chad Arnold thing? Chad Arnold seeing Candace. That's what PG's talking about. That's the only time Candace went down to. She never went down to Fred's. Huh?
Candace ain't never been in my house, period, other than that day.
Candace has never been to Fred's ever. That was just driving by.
And I wouldn't even know that.
And he wouldn't even known that because he wasn't even there. But it was Chad was there, so that's.
I mean, I knew it later,
after the fact. But yeah, the person asking the question, they knew this. They knew this already. But the way that PG's telling it, she's making it seem different and confusing things. And that's what irritates me. That's what pisses me the hell off. Because why don't we just tell things how they happened so we can figure this shit out? Why are we trying to make things like more sensational or different than what really happened? Candace didn't go to Fred's that day. She was pretending to look for Summer and happened to see Chad out there at Fred's. So,
about the camera footage on and two people who had been there at the camper was Chad and Candace.
But Candace wasn't really there, was she? Did she actually get out?
She just pulled in at the bottom of the driveway.
Okay. So Candace just pulled in at the bottom of the drive floor. So, but that's just because Chad was out there. If Chad hadn't been out there, she wouldn't have stopped at all. Mm-hmm. She just wanted to pretend that she was looking for Summer. PG said Laura is with Chad Arnold. No, not that I know of. I mean, last we knew she was in Virginia, but
yeah, she's in Virginia.
Have you heard from her recently?
She's been in Virginia for a while now.
Yeah, but have you heard from her recently?
I talked to Destiny last night.
Okay, so she's doing good? Okay. Okay, so what the person that asked the question just opened my live, so I'm going to repeat my answer to that question. They asked again, what is this about Candace going to Fred's the day Summer went missing? PG was talking about it and never heard about her going to Fred's at all that day. Yeah, you never heard about that because it didn't happen. PG just lies. Like I was saying, what she's trying to turn into something that was nothing is when Candace was pretending to look for Summer and was driving down the holler and happened to see Chad Arnold was on at Fred's driveway, and she stopped and asked Chad if he had seen Summer, right?
Mm-hmm. And people say wants to turn things around. So Chad said that he would something about Clinch Mountain and stuff. No, he said he will keep his eye out as he goes back across the mountain, meaning going to his place, which is across Mountain View.
Yeah, he lives over there on the river.
Yeah.
And over there in the mountains.
Yeah, in Churchill. So he crosses Mountain View to go to his place. And what they twisted all that around and stuff, you see. But Chad is saying that.
Yeah, so really what it was is just Candace pretending to look for Summer that day when she was driving down the holler. And that was probably about like 4:30 or something, wasn't it? Or wait, what time was that? I'm trying to remember. 5:30?
No, it was 5 something.
Yeah, so I don't know what PG's saying because we stopped listening to her because it's pointless. It just clouds your mind and it confuses you because she changes things, and I don't understand why we can't just tell things how they happened. I've told this a million times. You know, she was driving. I mean, it makes sense. She was pretending to look for Summer. She was going down the holler, and of course, she's going to stop and say something. Oh, have you seen Summer? So she has a witness that can say, "Oh, yeah, she was out looking for Summer." So that's why she did that. And Chad had stopped by. You didn't even know he was there, did you? Because he showed up when you were gone, right?
Yeah, I didn't know until until the next day.
And okay, and about the cars, people say, when I saw a video about somebody saying, it might have been PG that was saying something about how Fred said when I asked Fred if Summer could have been in one of those vehicles that he was moving or towing. No, Fred did not tow any vehicles to the junkyard that day, but he was moving around vehicles, right, from property to property. And so.
And the only time I seen Cody sit on the 15th was after someone was missing when I recorded them for the LE. That's the only time I seen Cody Sue that day.
Is after.
Yeah. Well, I seen her when I come in the holler, when they had the holler shut down, but I didn't stop or nothing. I did. They were standing at the bottom of the driveway when they were searching for Summer.
Yeah.
Her and Andy and who else was I saying? Just her and Andy was standing right there. There was some searchers and stuff standing around talking to them. But the kids wasn't down there at that time.
You didn't even know they had a daughter, right? They kept their kids like hidden, like they were freaking.
I didn't know they had a daughter until about a couple of years before someone went missing.
They kept their kids like they were like
I mean, that's how much I talked to them. I didn't even know they had it young. I mean, I'm kind of shocked, I'm trying to figure out how they had a kid and I didn't even know about it,
Ziggy, do you know who PG is, and is she the neighbor?
Who?
Somebody's asking me if I really know who PG is and if she a neighbor. I can't say for a fact that I know who PG is. Like, I thought I knew for a fact at one time, but I thought I knew, but I don't know. What was he taken to the?
I have is with PG is why was she on the phone exactly the same time that when Don was trying to pick up that little girl on the mountain when he tried to be a hero and all that, letting on. That's the only issue I have.
Yeah. PG. So PG was on the phone with Don when he tried to pretend like he was playing hero and going to save that girl.
And see, the law was involved in that because they called the law on Don.
And Fred knows this because he talked to the man, the grandfather. And he's and you guys, what's interesting is this little girl's a Simpson. So we don't know if there's some kind of revenge type thing because we have Cotton Simpson that passed away. Summer Wells, okay, she went missing, but there's all this talk about Cotton and if he's possibly knows something or involved. And then we have a relative of his, Dawn, tries to pretend save. And he's on the phone with PG.
Mm-hmm.
And he got like...
He admitted it, and Dawn's admitted that they was on the phone at that time.
Hey, Kathy.
That's the only issue I've got, you know.
Could PG be Marlena's mom?
Do what?
Somebody's asking if PG could be Marlena Crawford's mom.
No.
PG has a pretty distinctive voice.
Yeah, Liz Crawford is Marlena's mom.
I know.
They don't really sound nothing alike. She won't even touch YouTube. She don't even use a phone. But I could picture PG looking about like her.
Oh, so also another question, was Candace met? Well, you didn't see, did you see Candace that night?
No, I never seen Candace from time summer went, well, days before summer went missing, from up till the 17th. The 17th, I recorded her a little bit and Dawn at her house. That was the only time I seen Candace during that time.
So you wouldn't have known if Candace was actually messed up, like
Mm-hmm.
Hunter was saying on the 15th.
Yeah.
That was a question somebody had.
Every time I've ever seen Candace, though, she's always messed up.
Every time you've ever seen her, she's always messed up.
Always drunk.
Where would you usually see her if you saw her? Just like,
I went up to the wells a couple times, you know, but
yeah.
most of them just like sitting at the end of the holler at the stop.
Yeah, you were pissed that one time, and that's how people talk about this incident when Fred had seen the boys in there in nothing but diapers and a mattress, and people freaking gavel geeks. See, this is what pisses me off, and this is the whole narrative, switching the narrative. And that's what I'm at. They're trying to make Fred into this weirdo because he went up there because they had, was it Andy Paul?
Yeah.
That freaking pedophile Andy Paul on their property, living on their property, and he freaking went and he took some. Oh, he was wood. He was trying to get some wood for the fire or something, and he drug it all the way. He made a whole freaking tore some shit up trying to get some wood up there.
He pulled all the fence out where the horses were.
Yeah. And so Fred went up there to find out what was going on.
I
like,
didn't know who had even done it. I just followed the drag tracks, and that's where it went. And when I went up there, it was they pulled the wood right there next to the basement door, but I pulled on up to the top and knocked on the front door. Nobody answered, so I just walked around to the basement door, and there ain't no curtain or nothing on the window, nothing, and the door is mostly glass. I mean, you can see it in the same door.
Yeah.
I mean, you stand
It's
there
kinda hard-
straight in. I mean,
it's kind of hard not to see it. I mean, I'm sorry that he wasn't blindfolded when he went up there, but I mean, and CPS was contacted because of that too. So, you know, for all of you that want to say shit about that too.
I know Candace was there. She was just hiding.
Were any vehicles towed out of the holler that day? No. Except the only ones, vehicles. The moped, was there a moped towed out?
A motorcycle I took in, but I didn't.
You brought a motorcycle in?
Yeah.
Okay.
On a trailer. I took it, went back in and got the trailer and went back out and hauled that motorcycle from Tim Shipley's driveway to West Side Inn that evening.
Yeah.
And see, I never seen Candace or nobody on the road then. And that was at her 4.
So, anyways, Any other? I'm trying to think. Well, probably because I don't have subscribers only on. I probably should turn that on. Or actually, maybe I did turn it on. I don't know.
My understanding, Journey was at the Wells the morning of the 15th. They took her home early in the morning.
I sent you the pictures of her and her name. But how do you know it's her for sure?
And supposedly Candace was the one that took her home, took her to Francis's.
Supposedly Candace took Journey to Francis that morning on the 15th.
That's what I understood from what I gathered from chat.
So supposedly Journey was at the Wells. So wonder where she was sleeping. That's creepy. Ew.
She stayed there a lot. Her and Marlena did.
Yeah, but that time she wasn't. Marlena wasn't there, was she? Like she was there the night.
Marlena was supposed to be in there, but she had left her there while she was out doing her thing. And the truck that I got off of Dawn was the last vehicle I'd ever hauled from Ben Hill. And that was like almost a month after Summer went missing.
So I just got an anonymous email and found out that they also have a person who, an old mod of mine that I guess it's an anonymous email, but it says, do you remember... They said, do you remember that Pearl who used to be your mod named Esther, worked for a television production company for 15 years? She is in a Discord with them. I believe that she is the one with TV contacts. Skilo is the one putting the production together. It's international. That's what somebody sent me. And I didn't get the person asking me if I got their email about who they think PG is. No, I didn't get it. But like, unless there's absolute proof, we can't really say it's her, because I've thought for sure several times.
I left the holler on the 15th. I didn't have no trailer, no nothing, and I didn't know that I hadn't planned on hauling nothing after I left the holler because I couldn't make it a scrapyard or nothing. I didn't have nothing even loaded. I tried loading, but that's when I met the boy out next to end of the Beach Creek, which is past Light Hauler Road in Sullivan County, and he was broke down. I didn't even know the boy that had the motorcycle, so I went back to Ben Hill and got my trailer and went back out there and loaded the bike. And then I took it from there. We stopped at Zoomer's and they got gas in their vehicle, which was the old Lexus.
And that wasn't at 5:30 when you saw Andy Bernard, was it?
Huh?
That wasn't the time you saw Andy, was it?
No, I saw Andy earlier.
No, you saw him at Zoomer's, though.
I seen Andy at 5:30. Yeah.
Zoomers too. He was there
because I dropped the bike off at West Side Inn, and then I come to Zoomers and got gas myself, and that's when Andy pulled in beside of me. He's on pump 10, because I was on pump 11. I always do pump 11. He pulled in on pump 10.
And the reason why Fred would know which pump is which, because that's like the only gas station people go to in that town. So he went to Zoomers probably, every day?
Yeah, I went to Zoomers every day.
So, that's how he knows, which pump is
that's
which.
That's where we would go to use Wi-Fi and stuff, because there's Arby's there, and we'd hook in a Arby's Wi-Fi.
A lot of people do that.
That's where even Jody C would go live and stuff all the time from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, Bushi, he wasn't hauling cars. He was trying to, but because Andy, he was getting ready to go, about ready to go, and then here comes Andy, and in order to let Andy by, he had to unhook the trailer in order to let Andy by. And because of that, that's what made Fred late, and he couldn't get to the scrapyard on time. And so he gave up because by the time he got all hooked up, and it was just pointless. Because it took a little bit like to unhook it and like move the vehicle to let Andy by, and then to rehook everything.
Yeah. And then as soon as I pull back up, Andy and that truck comes back out of the holler, bumper to bumper. Andy in the blue truck, Chevy truck.
They were bumper to bumper, huh?
Mm-hmm. And then see, I had to move again. So
yeah, he had to move again and unhook.
Hell with it, because that was about 340 something. And then I had to unhook the trailer, and then time you figure a 30-minute drive or something other. So I had to be there by 4:20 at the grocery to unload, and there wasn't no way I could hook back up and get it loaded and then make the drive in that time.
Does Fred remember the bottom property at the shed being lived in?
Yes, Bill Bent lived in it a little bit. Bill would stay there when him and his wife was into it, her girlfriend. They was never married. And that's one they call Wild Bill. And Wild Bill got his name by Don Wells. Don Wells is one giving the Wild Bill name.
Oh, so, but you thought too that Bill Shipley could be Wild Bill too. Like he called himself Wild Bill. He Bill Shipley wants to believe he's something, and he calls himself Wild Bill. So. How many cars? You just had the one vehicle on your loaded, right?
No, I didn't have one on the trailer. I didn't get one loaded, period. I was trying to load one.
Oh, it wasn't on the trailer?
No, because I used the same trailer to haul that motorcycle on when I went to the end of the creek and stuff. And I had to come back and get the trailer to take his motorcycle to West Side Inn. And I don't know who that guy was. I never met him before. Never seen him since.
So what day did that towing of the escort take place where Laura stated anything that could go wrong went wrong?
I was trying to think what day. See, they went, after someone went missing, there were several days that nobody could even really go in and out of the holler.
Was the escort the one you were trying to tow?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You said you couldn't for 2 weeks.
It was at 167.
Yeah, he couldn't get to it for 2 weeks. Yeah, that's the one he was planning on taking to the crusher, but yeah, Laura.
But see, just like people saying, Laura went with me on the 15th. When I left out that morning and went and got gas and stuff at Zoomers, when I left out, Dawn and the boys was coming off their driveway at the bottom, getting ready to turn on to Ben Hill Road early that morning.
On the
Laura
15th.
was not with me then. That's why PG and all of them got all that twisted. Said Laura didn't see, went with me that day. Laura went with me then.
Right.
And then when I come back is when we took and I hooked the trailers and stuff up and was moving stuff around and trying to get things where I could get to them, to load them and stuff. And then I about pushed time too far at that. And then when all that happened with Andy then that day, having to move and stuff, then it just pushed me where I couldn't get nothing took off that day. Nothing was ever even loaded.
And then you said it wasn't until 2 weeks later that you were able to actually tow anything because of Summer Wells and the closures.
The first vehicle I towed was a white Taurus.
It wasn't even the Escort?
No, it was a white Taurus. And actually, the tree trimmers helped me load it with the piece of equipment at the bottom of 207.
The tree trimmers were still out there working 2 weeks later?
They were still out there working. They had a skid steer out there. And because when someone went missing, they had to shut a lot of their stuff down because of it. They couldn't, because of the searchers and stuff. They couldn't finish what they was doing. But it was supposed to be their last day on Ben Hill on the 15th. That's why they had so many of the tree trimmers in the holler that day when someone went missing. And then when all that happened, then
They delayed them?
Yeah, it delayed them.
Selena asked, could that property have a root cellar that could have been missed or overlooked looking for summer? A root cellar. I don't know. I guess
110.
Yeah, I guess
I
one.
don't know. Really, I wouldn't think so. But
The Crawfords hold more info on what happened that day. Not that they did anything, but knowledge that may explain. Yeah, Miranda, I agree. And so does Fred, I believe. But I thought the scrapyard Fred hauled to that day were checked.
do what?
Somebody said, but I thought the scrapyard Fred hauled to that day were checked.
I didn't haul them that day.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which way you ask him or how it's going to be consistent. Laureen says, the way PG speaks and pronounces words, I really believe that she has a speech impediment or she is deaf. Seriously. I don't know. Fred's half deaf. Reason I asked, why did Don go there? Was he checking if Candace got it closed properly? Why did Don go there?
Go where?
Down to Fred's, you think? Or Selena? You mean down to Fred's? Was he checking if Candace got it closed properly? Oh, you mean over at 207? There's no root cellars on your properties.
No, there ain't no root cellar on 207.
Don just went down to, I'm telling you guys, what's your theory on why Don went down there the evening of?
As I look back on it now, it's just to try to find out what I told Ellie and how much, what all I did tell Ellie. Because that's all the thing he would ask when he would come. Did I think of anything else to tell the law and what did I tell them and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that.
He wanted to know everything you were telling law enforcement.
Huh?
He wanted to know what you knew and everything you were telling law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And then he asked you also.
Not once would Don ever say that he wished Summer would be found or nothing. Only time he spoke of Summer, only thing he said, he leased his seer during the resurrection. But other than that, Summer's name, Don never mentioned Summer's name, period. He never would show no emotions, no nothing.
And what didn't Don ask you about Andy in particular?
Yeah, he asked me about it,
That's weird, isn't it? He didn't ask you if you saw anybody else on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he asked you if you.
Well, he asked me who I'd seen on the road.
He asked you who you had seen. Did he ask you if you'd seen Andy in particular?
Mm-hmm.
He said Andy's name specifically.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy. See, that makes me think that Andy told Dawn, oh shit, Fred saw us. And that's why Dawn was down there pestering you for.
Don hadn't been to the house very few times before then. And the whole time they lived there. Only time he'd come there if he got in trouble with the law or something, and he'd come and try to ask me what I would, if I was in his shoes, what I would do. But he would never tell you what he had exactly done to be able to take and tell him anything. He would leave out big parts. Just like when the Josie did or whatever come about, you know?
The what?
Just like when he was shooting at, what's his name?
Shooting? Dawn?
Huh?
You're talking about Dawn?
Yeah, I'm talking about Don shooting at, shit. I'm trying to think his name. When he come back from Utah or whatever and got all them tickets and stuff, trying to get back together.
Jose?
Yeah.
I don't know if they shot.
He shot at him several times going up the highway.
He shot at him?
Yes.
That same day? Or the day that their altercation happened?
I mean, I'm talking about.
I know not the 15th, obviously, but the day that the altercation happened when police were called.
That's why that's why he got charged with having the weapon. They found it in the glove box of his truck.
Yeah, but that's because Grandis told on him. It's not in the report about him shooting at him. I wonder if it wasn't said. I wonder if they didn't mention it.
I don't know. That's what Don was saying. So I figured it was part of it. You know?
Didn't they send Summer to the shed to get SA? That's why he went to check if she was there. I don't know, but it's some people wonder that. I think it's really funny that Fred is the one that actually knows what was going on those evenings, but Jody Sue Brown acts like she is the one that knows everything. She doesn't know shit.
That was like Jody. You didn't never see her at the bottom of the hill or nothing unless they had come in or something other from town or something. They stop at the mailbox in the vehicle, and then that's the only time you'd ever see them. You'd never see them standing around the bottom of the hill or nothing, or her planting flowers. Them flowers she hollered she was messing with. Fleet had planted them years before Andy and them ever moved down there.
She's not going to plant any fucking flowers. Let me check again, Tiger Claw. I didn't see it. Which email are you sending it to? Let me check my junk email. I'm not getting it, but that would be, oh, that's awesome. Hey, that is so. Fred, come here. Look at this email. I think that would be awesome. Oh. It was who you were just watching. That was who you were just watching. Hold on 1 second.
From what I understand.
Okay.
See, he stated last night on his thing that he was going to talk to somebody this week and have some information by the weekend.
To do about Andy?
Huh?
To do with Andy?
He didn't say.
Okay. We're talking about Don B's video that he posted today.
But I didn't know who he was talking about, you know.
Hopefully. We need freaking answers. We need something. I didn't see the name. No, I didn't get the email. The person's. I'm wondering if you're sending it to the wrong. Here's the email. I think it's important that what Fred just said, that everything was shut down because of searchers. How quickly did that happen, Fred? Thanks for answering the questions. Did you hear that? See, he's half dead. He didn't hear me, or half deaf, half dead, half deaf. He didn't hear that at all. Somebody asked, Bella asked, it's important what Fred just said, that everything was shut down because of searchers. How quickly did that happen? And they said, thanks for answering questions. Like, how quickly did everything get shut down, like the holler and stuff?
That night. I mean, that evening.
I mean, you didn't get there until when you first noticed it was shut down, like when was it? And
Well, I mean, far as them setting up the everything where you had to check in and out was up late that morning, but they had moved some of the searchers out.
You mean the next morning?
Huh?
Wait. I'm talking about the night of wait, they didn't close down the holler on the 15th?
No, it wasn't. They didn't shut it from down on the 15th. It was on the
But nobody could come in and out, right?
because of the searchers. Yes,
What do you mean?
they had the roads full, honey. The park full. The searchers did. They had it parked on both sides of.
Could you go down the road if you wanted to?
It's parked through the center of the road. Everything from up to Cody Sue and them's driveway.
So it wasn't really closed. It was just blocked off because of everybody's vehicles.
But they actually set a tent or not a tent, but I don't know what you call it, and had officers sit there.
Just one of the over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it in some videos. And then they had officers sit there 24/7 for, I don't know, a couple of weeks after something like this. And from like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on the 16th of this week.
So on the 16th, early that morning, like it was difficult for anybody that you couldn't get in there. Like,
No, that's when they started checking vehicles coming in and going.
they didn't check any on the 15th going in.
I don't know.
But just so they had the dogs out there,
Yeah, they had the dogs and stuff out there.
smelling people's vehicles.
When I first got there and pulled up the end of Ben Hill Road, the first person who spoke to me was George Bernard.
Andy Bernard's father.
Very first person that spoke to me.
And you hadn't seen him there how long?
Probably 20 years.
20 years was the last time he saw George Bernard on Ben Hill Road. And when Fred got back that evening,
And then when I pulled,
that was the first person that greeted him.
They
And
moved a few vehicles so I could get pulled into Ben Hill Road. The searchers' vehicles.
Mhm.
And then I actually pulled over to the right-hand side in that little field. I'm going to leave the truck there and just walk in. But then they're like, no, they was already open and trying to get the road open so I could get on in, which they was pulling a lot of the searchers onto the vehicles onto Simpson Lane.
Mhm. So,
But they had 3 dogs out then before you get to Don's driveway at that creek. There's a culvert there, and before you get to Don's driveway, as you first go in Ben Hill Road, and they had a dog in the road, and they had a dog below the culvert in the creek, going up down the creek, and then they had a dog above the culvert going up down the creek, which is right behind Andy and Jody Sue's house.
so they had dogs on the 15th on.
Yes, they had dogs there when I got there.
Hey, Trev. Hey, Kalina. So they got it officially closed the morning of the 16th, is what you think you'd say?
Because when you went out of the holler, they searched your vehicle and stuff. And when you come back in, they searched your vehicle. If you was in the car, you had to open the trunk, everything. If you had any kind of bags in there, they would open them. Like, you know. But it depended on what officers was working too on that. I mean, later on, like a week farther after someone went missing, they would just let you go. I mean, allow you to go in and out without actually searching your vehicle sometimes. Depend on what officer they had sitting there supposed to be doing their job. Some would search you, some wouldn't search you.
Phew, Bandit, your breath is brutal.
That was just like David Bayes. I mean, when he took off on them, he was way up morning, you see.
So David Bayes is the one that took off running.
Yeah, he took off in his car.
So, you know, okay, about Summer Scent. Okay. They said, can you ask Fred if Summer Scent went down the driveway or through the woods? Me and everybody else are still confused about that, I believed. Like, do you know where her scent went? Like, if it went, do you know, like, for sure?
For sure, they never really clarified. That never really said whether it went down the driveway or down the dog trail, but they did find scent going to the road, the main road.
Yeah.
By 3 different dogs.
So 3 different dogs. Supposedly, but you don't know if it was down the driveway or down the trail. But the trail, this dog trail, goes straight to Andy's property and first through Dobbs, right? First Dobbs, then Andy. So, which is interesting.
Because that's a shortcut from Andy's house to the Wells's, the shortest trip, you know. And
you didn't see Dobbs on the 14th, did you, or anything to do with that whole commotion?
I never even knew nothing about Dobbs till after Summer went missing.
Yeah, I find that really strange. I'm kind of now stuck on that I kind of wonder.
But see, I didn't went in and out of the holler on the 14th, so I don't know on the 14th.
I know, it's just weird to me, because how they got so upset. It makes me wonder, was something supposed to go down the 14th, or is that whole thing with Dobbs a distraction to make us think?
Well, even if it's supposed to went down on the 15th, they're probably trying to get rid of Dobbs on the 14th to finish what they're doing on the 15th.
Unless Dobbs is actually involved and they're just trying to pretend like, you know, they're trying to act like there's this feud to try to throw people off. You know, because I never looked at Dobbs like as guilt, you know, as a part of it, but it makes me wonder, could Dobbs have like interfered in some way? Is that why they were really upset? What was going on back there that they didn't want Dobbs to see? Or I don't know. I wonder why Dobbs was chased off the day before Summer went missing. It was his property. Could the little girl that says hi in the background of PG's live be Journey? No.
No, Journey is safe. So
yeah.
Journey's actually doing really good. If people actually seen pictures of her now, they wouldn't believe.
Yeah. Isn't that where a pic of a dog with a shoe was taken? Pic of a dog with a shoe. I don't know, but we need to talk to that previous EquiSearch
That's just
woman.
Like the dogs. Many dogs that on them had, all them dogs wouldn't been gone. And the only time I ever seen them dogs go anywhere in the holler, they never was up the holler, nothing. You'd only see them cross from Don's property onto Dobbs's property, which went to Andy's property. Across that trail right there. Straight across the road. You see them every now and then. And all of them wasn't going anyway. You just see 2 or 3 at a time or something other different times. And if you walk in Ben Hill or even drive in, them dogs is raising hell nonstop.
Okay, so Trev Time asked, I never had the chance to directly ask this, but can Fred address the rumor of the dogs coming to his property and there being a hit? Did they bring the dogs over at all, or what is the deal with that?
What, when they was,
that hit? What can you explain that prop the hit?
that was not the, I was trying to think, it was 16th when of the evening of the 16th.
It was the 16th,
Yes.
and
But what their theory was, the law enforcement, they figured it was scent that where Don had been there, come off where they had come up a holler, because he had scent all the way up a holler and stuff, but he got stronger about the time the road got rougher, and they figured it was where the vibration off the vehicle was causing the scent to get more, where the road got rougher.
so where was it though where was the scent? Like, where was it they were hitting? It was like, right, was it at the bottom of the driveway?
No, it come all the way up my driveway, and it didn't go toward the camper. It went on up. There's a little flat like on past the camper.
Oh, so it went in the wood, kind of off to the right in the woods.
Yeah, he just went straight up there to that little flat.
Huh.
And see, I had a 2006 Explorer sitting up there, and they just stopped it. That's what people said, that, oh, the dog hit on that vehicle and stuff. No, I said it stopped at that vehicle. That's where they stopped, because that's where I had a vehicle parked at, and it was just a little flat, and they assumed that maybe somebody had walked up there or something.
But what about the scent at the bottom of is that what people are saying about the scent at the bottom of the truck or whatever? Is that what they mean?
Yeah. That's what they was getting at. When I said it went up to a vehicle that was parked at the top, I never said whether a truck or a car or what.
And that was the 16th?
Yeah, the evening of the 16th, about an hour before dark.
That's weird, because Don had been there
He'd been there numerous times, from the 15th to then.
Really? He came down there more than... He was
there within... before dark on the damn 15th and talked to him.
Yeah, I know, that's weird. Yeah, so yeah, Fred's never denied that happening, or that the dog scent, or her scent, it traveled down the whole road, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I do know.
See, they got scent that went onto Richard Goley's property too, driveway, but it just went so far up his driveway and then back, They just hit so far up his driveway, but not as far as where his cameras was.
So,
and they hit even other places in the holler, but that could have been where certain ones had been around, looking for some or something, drove around or something.
So Don B says about Dobbs, he says, I believe that the less people see and hear things, the better off they are to not get caught. That's why I think they didn't want him up there around the time Summer disappeared. Yeah, probably because they didn't want people seeing anything.
There's just really about two places on Ben Hill that if there's going to be an exchange made or anything, just say if they was trying to make an exchange, the only places would have been between Don and them and Andy's driveway, because there's no one can see that area.
Right between Don and Andy's driveway is a blind spot.
Yeah.
But that's where Dobbs was moving in.
Yeah.
And so...
And then the only other place is where I passed...
that flat area.
Yeah.
Back there that we showed. It's
before
back there.
You get to 207.
It's even before 165, isn't it? Or is it?
No, it's after 165.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's after 202 or 200. John's is 200 Green Hill Road. So,
too bad we didn't talk to Richard. Or I didn't interview Richard Gurley when I was there, because I would have maybe got him on voice recording.
That don't mean we can't talk to him when we go to Tennessee here if he does.
Yeah, if we are able to, if we do have to go, we still don't know. We're trying to have to contact. We have to remember to do that email. contact your probation to see if we have to go. I mean, I don't know if they're going to make him go to that or not. All it is a payment inquiry. Make sure he's paying on his fines. And he's being Fred's being monitored up here, so I'm not sure that they'll have him go, but
that's just like the blue Chevy truck that followed Andy out. Ed Redmond has to have that truck on camera. He had too many cameras not to have that truck on camera. And he should have the tag numbers of that truck on camera, because where his cameras is, where you have to pull up or back up to turn, there's cameras on both sides. It's going to be on both front or back of the vehicle either way. So.
No, it's Dawn sent, guys, but so people can carry other people's scents, right? Like that's how they think that Summer scent. That's how it traveled back there, is through Dawn. It's not Dawn's scent. No, it's Summer scent.
What they're thinking, it was on the vehicle.
On the vehicle.
But
did he park up there? Did he park up there?
He pulled up to there.
Oh, he pulled up the driveway?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And also there was a hit over on Richard's property too, wasn't there?
Yeah.
There was hits other places.
From Ben Hill up to about 100 foot or something, or up the asphalt driveway. But see, that's just like the footprints. They found footprints. It was never confirmed that it was Summer's footprints.
Right.
And it was just one footprint, one place, and another footprint, another place, just a single footprint. But the people that lived on that property had 2 children themselves. They said it could have possibly been one of theirs. It was never confirmed that it was Summer's footprints. And see, when they was trying to find Summer's scent, Dawn had to get a dirty sock out of the laundry basket and stuff. So they used a sock of Summer's that come out of the dirty laundry basket, which I would think would be have other scents on it.
Right.
And then they used one shoe or something.
That's true, guys. That's true. You guys got it. I didn't. So we have to think of the source of what they use for Summer scent too.
They used a shoe and a sock. And he couldn't. Didn't he say he couldn't promise that the other kids didn't wear it too, or something like that? Well, he got it out of the dirty laundry, so I mean, it's going to have mixed scent with it. The sock would, but the shoe would have more consistent scent than the sock would have had. But I know they use 3 different dogs to trying to verify a lot of different scents, trying to make sure that it was some of the scent. But still, even at that, if it's the scent they're using it off of, if it's been somebody else touched it or whatever, they could pick up on either one of the scents that's on that object. Right. It's called what's that called? Trace. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, they can't confirm the footprints were Summers or anything. That's it. And where they was across Simpson Lane before you get to Beach Creek. If you go across Simpson Lane, you'll run into a gate, and if you go past that gate, you'll go about 500 feet or something other, and that's where they found supposedly one footprint there. And that was like 100 and... I wonder how they can determine that. 200 feet off of how do they determine that that's a kid's... I don't understand. How do they... But did it have Summer scent? What? This footprint? No. Then it was never confirmed that it was Summer's footprint. It was just I know it wasn't child's footprint that with no shoe on, supposedly. But if the ground's that south, why can't they see a different footprint of another person that was with them, or the other footprint? Right. If the ground's soft enough for a child to leave a footprint, then there should be other footprints around that area. Why would they just be one supposedly footprint?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the footprint thing is anything, really. And really, probably not the scent thing either. Now knowing how all the places. Was Dawn over on Richard's property? I wonder how.
I don't know. I don't know. He could have started up or something like that. I don't know. Or it could have been Candace. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to meet up with.
But I do know Richard had cameras and stuff up. I don't know what he had turned into law enforcement or whatever. But he didn't have cameras till where his barn is up his driveway. That was the first camera. Then he got like 4 more cameras on up his driveway.
Is Chad Arnold friendly with the Wells?
They talk, I think. I don't know how friendly or whatever they are, you know. But see,
that's what we were just Bushi. We were just explaining it. He was trying to tell. What are you, Bushi? I just explained the whole story. He was in the process of towing a vehicle, but Andy came and he had to unhook it and to let Andy by, and then he tried to wait a little bit so Andy could come back out, and then Andy never came back out, so he started to hook up the trailer again, and then here comes Andy in the blue truck right on his ass. So here, Fred has to unhook the trailer again. To let them by, and by that time it made him late and he couldn't go. So that's what do you mean? Where was he when Summer went missing? That's I don't understand. What do you mean?
I was in Kingsport, I guess, when she actually went missing. I'm assuming, you know, I don't know what exactly when.
We don't know exactly what time she supposedly went missing, for one. Like, we can't get anybody to be fucking honest.
But I do know that Jody Sue stated on a recording that I recorded on that she knew Summer was gone at 3:20. And then that's why that Lawson said the scream was unfounded. Because he said, how could she hear a scream and done knowing Summer was gone at 3:20? And how could she hear a scream like at 5 or something?
Right. Oh, that's awesome. You know what I just realized? Okay, Don B says, you know what? I just realized something nobody ever mentioned. Grandis being up there when the cops showed up. Was Grandis still there, or did she take off before the cops got there?
She was still there. Grandis was there.
What we want to know, Don, that I'm talking to Don B, because Don B is watching. What we really want to find out was Grandis banned from being around kids, all children, and is that why was she forced to take off to Wisconsin, and is that why she left right after Summer went missing? Because was she told by the police she had to leave? Because was there something with CPS in the past? Because it's Fred's understanding, like from what he overheard, is that she was not to be around any children.
That's what I heard the law enforcement talking about. That's why that she left shortly afterward, you know.
Yeah, so I wonder what that's all about, you know. And it's not completely unbelievable either, because look at what her brother was institutionalized for and all that. Yeah.
But see, a lot of people don't realize Dawn was at home when the first 2 officers arrived. Dawn, Candace, and Grandis was at 110 when the first 2 officers arrived.
Yep. And the first 2 officers were One was Nate Simpson, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Nate or it wasn't Gary.
Oh. Okay, well, we don't have to say. Because obviously, I don't know.
But I just wonder, Don and Andy said that they come in at the same time, so does that mean Andy was home too when the first two officers arrived?
Oh. Well, good luck getting it out of Andy, because I'm sure he doesn't know.
I mean, by him and Don, they come in at the same time, but, supposedly. But I do know that Don and Candace and Candace was there when the first two officers arrived by what?
Yeah, that's a good. That is a good point. What did Candace actually, was she there when the cops got?
Yes.
Was she?
Yes.
Because maybe she did take off because she was banned to be around kids, and maybe she was scared and took off.
Because the TBI man was asking the two officers about what he seen when they first pulled up, plumb down to how each one of them acted. Was they upset, angry, fucking sad, happy, each one and stuff, getting a rundown of how they was.
Hey, Lisa. Miranda says, I always thought it was weird that Don Wells talked about the kids playing on the roof on the 14th. What if Summer went up there alone and had an accident, and that was the scream that could have been heard? I don't believe that. I don't think it's an accident cover-up. It's just not. There's too many people involved for it to be that.
At first, I thought it was probably accident cover-up, but now what I've found out and stuff, even in that, out in offshore. And
yeah,
stuff,
I mean,
I've learned more about Don away from Ben Hill than I've ever known about Don around the community.
Yeah. And I forgot what I was just about to say, but another question. Did Blue Roof Don really have cameras?
I don't think he did at that time. I think he installed some cameras afterward.
Because if he did, he would have had the best shot. Is he buddies with is Blue Roof Don buddies with
See, Candace used to sit out there at the stop sign next to Blue Roof Don's house all the time. So I don't know if they was how close of friends or whatever they was. I've seen them talk a lot. Yeah, I've seen them. I mean, as far as me traveling in and out of holler.
Because you know what we're starting. What we're starting to notice is the connections between several of the people that live back there, and
there's several holder type bond back there.
Yeah, and Fred's kind of the oddball, so that's why Don was so concerned about Fred seeing Andy, because they all had. I mean, really. They're all tight, back there. The Redmonds, the Smiths, Wells,
the Thompsons.
Bernard.
Thompson moved in first, and then they started being real big buddies with Ed Redmond, and then John Smith fell in play, and them was real tight. Them three was.
Yeah, did you guys know that Don was doing work for Ed Redmond the week before Summer went missing? The guy who lives just past Fred's or the 207 property at the end there with all the birds and animals and stuff.
210 is where he lived.
210?
That's what my mom's address was, 210. 209, 210. But that's just like Ed Redmond. There's a resort that you can look up out of Florida. I'm trying to think of the resort. But the farther you dig into that resort, it brings you all the way back into Ben Hill onto Ed Redmond's property.
Yeah. So Don has connections with Redmonds, and I don't know about Smith.
Huh?
I don't know about if he's cool with was cool with John Smith. That John just passed away, unfortunately. Don.
John and who?
Don.
Don. I don't know about that. I mean, for his way the friendship started, it was Thompson, then Ed Redmond together,
Spider.
and then John.
Who's Spider? Who goes by Spider again?
I don't know anybody that goes by.
Who was
Spider.
the guy that had those tattoos on his face again? You were showing me.
Oh, that's Cody Compton, but that
Cody Compton.
Yeah, that ain't. I don't know anybody down in there that goes by Spider. Only name I've ever heard was a horse named Spider down there.
I didn't know Wade Wilson lived in Rogersville or Beach Creek.
Who?
Wade Wilson.
It looks about like Wade, don't it?
Yeah. There's a guy that lives in Beach Creek that.
He's in prison now.
Oh, he's in prison now.
He's been in prison since before someone mentioned.
Yeah, there's a guy that has the face tattoos and stuff, has similar face tattoos of Wade Wilson. He even has that mouth tattoo, you know. And I was like, and it's very similar to Wade Wilson's. But Fred was like, I would have never thought anything about anybody being a part of Vice Lords or being any type of kingpin for Vice Lords. But maybe if you would have told me Cody Compton, this guy, I would believe it. And then he showed me this. But was he even out at the time Summer went missing?
No, he was locked up when someone went missing.
Cody Compton from Alabama?
No.
No.
Cody Compton's always lived on the creek. Around the creek and cloud apartments and stuff, mostly.
Lipwalk said, did Jody Sue say that somebody named Spider gave her that atrocious tattoo on her arm?
I don't know anybody named Spider. I know a boy named Rooster, but and there's two of them. Pat Wilcox.
Ew, are you serious? Wayne Morlock was at Dawn and Candace's on Christmas Eve when they were supposed to be working on getting the kids back. Yeah, Wayne Morlock is not a good guy.
No.
He's a horrible person. So that you're right, he is a violent man.
But see, just like Wayne Morlock, he was one of the first ones.
So that's another RSO, isn't he? Isn't he a registered? He's not registered, but he's. Yeah, he's not registered, so I shouldn't say that. But still, like, he's not a good person.
I don't think he is anyway. I mean, I'm not for sure. But they try to say he was dead, had alibis out of Kingsport all day, a week before the 15th.
Lori says, did Ziggy hear how a certain someone is saying that she was told by the neighbor across from 110 is now saying Laura wasn't even with Fred that day and she's now with Chad. Like, what do you mean with Chad? Like, what are they trying to insinuate, like, with Chad? Like, in a relationship with him, or like Laura's in Virginia for sure, as of last night,
and has been
we know for like at least like I don't know about a couple months, but at least a month.
2 months. Or was they trying to say on the 15th or what?
Oh, they're saying with Chad dating.
No.
Chad wouldn't. I mean, I don't know him. I've never met him, so I can't say like what he would or would not do. But I only know from like.
I do know that two that's living over there on his property in the camper. Marlena and Hesketh, Taylor.
Oh, Clusta Taylor and Marlena Crawford
are living on his property. I do know that.
On Chad's property?
On Rrivalry.
Yeah. They've just been camping out there. But are they really even supposed to be though?
Well, Ricky Crawford had moved the camper in there, and then Greene County picked him up on that stolen tractor and stuff. So he's in jail supposedly right now. He may have got out, I don't know. But they were staying there, had been staying with Real Ricky, so.
The call made from the Wells house led to a big bust and weapon bust. Oh, a big drug and weapon bust that can be easily be looked up. I almost positive Spider was the main man, but it's been years now. I believe Jason was found dead. Jason? You mean Jason Arnold? Yeah, Jason.
Yeah.
Who is the man that smelled like piss that went to the Wells? Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Hey,
the one that went down for the big drug bust on Beef Creek was James Light. He was ruled as a kingpin of that. They like 40 some of them and all.
Is Laura Fred's Laura? Is Laura Arnold Fred's Laura?
No.
No. Is there you know who Laura Arnold is?
I've heard of it, but they're not same people.
Oh. Did Fred notice any agencies up there when Summer went missing with body cams?
They all had body cams on them.
You could see them?
Mm-hmm. Most of them did. Only ones that the ones that I was working with, they was in plain clothes. Most of them that I was working with was just in plain clothes. They just had their badge around their neck inside their shirt.
Hawkins County doesn't have them, I don't think, is what they said.
Hawkins County has some.
They have some?
Mm-hmm. Certain officers wear them.
She is live speaking on Fred, just thought you should know. Who? Who's Sky? Who's live speaking on Fred? I don't know who you're talking about, but we don't really care, really. We're used to people talking about us. Who are you talking about, Sky? Laura A. Who is that? Who's Laura A? She's live talking about Fred. Who is that? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, live on what channel? Says, I wonder if anybody can request body cam footage from the other agencies, or would they say no, just like Hawkins County did? I believe Greene County Sheriff's Department was up there too and was wondering about their body cam footage. Oh, really? Greene County was up there, do you know? Probably.
There was many agencies, even from other states and stuff was in. From Georgia, or the stuff is even up there. Many agencies was in there.
Where do you, I don't see any Laura Arnold. I don't know what you mean.
I don't know about Laura. I don't think it's Sheila Arnold. I think she's, let's see, Lisa Arnold. I think That's who I'm thinking about. I was thinking for Arnold, but it's Lisa Arnold. I know. Or heard about.
Traders. I can't. What I'm trying to pull it up, but I can't. I don't know. I don't see it.
I can keep my chat and stuff rolling.
I don't know why it doesn't come up on my end. Who is this person? I guess I'm confused. Laura Arnold. What are they saying? Supposedly talking about you?
There's a lot of people want to
I don't see anybody like that. Can somebody email it to me? Because I don't see it. No. His birthday's not September 22nd, 87. No. He was born in 76. Supposedly Laura Arnold, but I don't see any channel like that. Yeah, 11/11/76 is his birthday. Oh, Lori Arnold. Lori Arnold? Come here. All right, here. You guys, that's not Fred Hill. That's not the right, you guys, that's not Fred Hill. She's talking about somebody different. Yeah, no. That's not him. That she's talking about somebody else. It says Texas. Yeah, there's lots of different Fred Hills. That's a pretty common name. Yeah, that's not him. Let's see. Wonder if anybody can request body cam footage. Okay, I would love to explore. Oh my gosh, I know, right? Go to the Beach Creek at according to Fred, he says that Ben Hill Road was named as like one of the bloodiest, or one of the most, like at one time had the most violence on it of all roads in Hawkins County or something. But that was like, I guess back in the day, it used to be really bad because there was like this East and West Coast like thing going on. And Ben Hill Road which is Little Pally Moorlock Road is what it used to be called. It used to separate the East and West parts of the community. Something about, right in the middle. And Ben Hill Road was right in the middle. So they would have like their little turf wars. Yeah, that'd be cool. You could go out there, Don, you could go out there on 207 and 165, 167. That'd be fun. I just don't know when we're going to be out there again. Maybe, possibly in a few days, possibly. She was talking about a Frank and Fred Hill in Texas. There's a Fred Hill that lives in Churchville and one that lives in Sir Gurnsville, yeah. I know. Somebody in there asked if, I heard somebody call a Becky Kimbler, which makes sure to, she was calling Fred a freak, which I'd love to see her, who she is. I'm sure she's just the epitome of non-freakness. I'm sure. She tagged Fred Hill the fourth. She tagged Fred Hill the fourth. Fred's not a junior. His middle name's Junior, but he's not a junior. He's not a junior at all. Like, his dad's name's not Fred. His legal dad's name is Ronald. And there's questions that possibly Ronald's brother, Clarence, could be Fred's real dad. People keep asking me about what the boys have seen, but I kind of wonder if they didn't see Summer at all that afternoon.
I say the oldest boy knows a lot because Don kept him under his wing from the time Summer went missing till...
He even brought him down there to your house, didn't he?
He was with the thing when he come to my house when Summer went missing on the 15th.
There was something that boy knew, or...
He kept that oldest one under his wing, and he wouldn't even look up at you or nothing. He just looked at the ground the whole time.
I think he was probably afraid of what the oldest boy would say of all of them, because...
That's my opinion of it. But he kept him tight with him everywhere he went after Summer went missing.
Who absolutely tagged Fred's name? Was it Traders? Selena? Yes, that's true. Dawn B said, didn't Dawn get in trouble for attempting, or get in trouble with CPS by trying to talk to the oldest boy? Yeah, he was trying to talk to him about things he wasn't supposed to talk to him about.
The oldest boy was one that went with him to another state.
Yeah, Utah
and stuff. A lot with him. And supposedly there's allegations of bullshit with that.
So, Selena, are you saying that traders tagged this Fred Hill like she's talking about my Fred? Is that what you're saying? Is the traders tagged? Well, it's not him, so whatever. People can say whatever they want. Like, I swear, people will like, whatever opportunity they can. You know, that's a problem. Why? Why are we trying to make people into something that they're not? That really makes me... What is the agenda? Let's see. I always thought the oldest knows a lot in general about Dawn and Candace's ways and bad things and maybe even what happened that day. Yeah, she would have to know that, I would think, Liplock, but no, it is a different Fred. Look in the description. It even says Texas. Fred Hill the fourth in her title. That Fred Hill is not a fourth.
That's like Dawn talking about going to the shed and stuff. When Dawn come in, from what I understood him to say, was he went to the hill and then went down beside that building where Tim or Allie and Kim or whatever made that video.
Allie and Cam?
Yeah, that video where they made down that trail beside that building. That's where Dawn went off to the building from. Instead of pulling off of Beach Creek to the building. From the way I understood Dawn to say it.
Wait. What? He left a different way? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You can get off the hill a different way than down the driveway?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously by foot you can, but...
Well, you can drive down that from... It wasn't like that until after the tree trimmers come in and stuff. They opened that trail back up that went down beside that, from the top of the hill, that Dawn's down beside that other building where Cam and Allie walked off.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he had went down to the building that day, supposedly by what Dawn had said to me.
The building over on Beach Creek?
The bottom shed on Beach Creek.
See, I was thinking that the place that you're talking about that Cam and Allie went to, I thought that was on the left side of the driveway.
It is. It goes off and back down to Beach Creek Road. Right to the shed.
Behind the house? Does it go behind?
Yeah, when you go down
that's
the
a long
driveway,
way.
Huh?
So that'd be the long way around?
I guess. But supposedly when he pulls up, he could see the boys from the power line where they cut the power line off down to the bottom shed. And he could see them down there at the creek next to the shed. It's what I understood Dawn to say, from what Dawn had told me.
Yeah, born in September of 1980 something. Fred is definitely in 86. Like that would be 5 years younger than me. Fred's like 5 years older than me, not younger.
76, 76.
Yeah, actually 4.5 years older than me, really. Doing that basement for... Wonder what Dawn and Candace be doing in that basement for boys be watching through. Yeah, weird. You believe Summer is buried on that hill? That's why they don't want anyone coming up there anymore? So, Boo Sheet says, can you refresh us on what Cotton told... Okay. It's just that every time every time it comes up, it's just like people change around what Fred's saying, and it's irritating. But you want to tell him a fast version of the cotton, I guess, like how, or he came down there to inquire about a boat. He came down there with Marvin Simpson to ask about a boat.
The first time I ever spoke to Cotton.
Yeah.
The first time.
That was the first time Fred had ever even met him, right?
Yeah. I knowed of him.
You knowed of him, but he didn't spoke to him. And he came out there with Marvin Simpson inquiring about a boat that Fred had. And
then the second time he come was when he talked about being on the hill on the 15th. Supposedly being on the hill on the 15th.
Okay, so that he came back again.
Yeah, like a month later or something.
By himself, or who was he?
He was by himself that time. But Marvin was at the house at that time.
Oh, Marvin was at the house. Okay.
Marvin was in his own vehicle.
Okay, that makes sense. Why you guys? Okay. And so, what kind of things was he saying to you that made you guys? What kind of things was Cotton saying in front of you and Marvin that made you guys think something was odd?
Well, he was just talking about being on the hill and stuff on the 15th. I don't even know what even brought it up, really. But he's talking about being up there had been up there on the 15th sleeping with mother and daughter, but he didn't say whether it was Candace and Candace or Candace and Summer. He just said mother and daughter.
Oh my God.
But he allowed it. Went on to say, where supposedly Summer's body was supposed to be in and this and that. And that he supposedly told the law enforcement and stuff. But he said they weren't taking him serious or something. That's why I had them to go trick him certain caves.
Mm-hmm. And
because he said once they did find it, they know exactly who done it or whatever. So I don't know. I was just going by what Kaufman told me at the time. But that could have been a mislead and, him just misleading people. I don't know. But it was just odd that where he was found was down in next to where some caves was,
Yeah, and you guys
because he was supposed to just got out of jail that day that he come to the house.
Oh, the day that you came to the house.
The last time he come to the house.
And he supposedly had money.
The day before
because he had just got his check. So
he'd been in jail like
back
3 months or something other, and supposedly
had some money piled up. And
I don't know if he got out of jail that day or the day before. It was the day before that day one.
And the house that he was found near is a house of a lady that is known, that people know, it's known in the community that Cotton had a relationship with this person, right? Like sexual relations.
Well, there's a lot of drug trade and stuff.
Yeah. And
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And that woman is being looked into, but they follow you guys. Get in a vehicle and you follow him.
Yeah, to the top of Mountain View.
To the top of Mountain View.
That's where I turned around. Was at top of Mountain
You guys
View.
were in the same vehicle, you and Marvin.
Yeah.
So you guys follow him to see because you thought
he kept acting worried about getting robbed for some reason. That's what we was more concerned about at the time, because he kept letting on like with all that money on him and stuff, he was worried about getting robbed. He was wanting to get back home.
So did he know you guys were following him?
No, me and Marvin just followed him.
Just being nosy.
Yeah.
And then you followed him to that.
We went to top of the mountain there at Mountain View and turned from Mountain View on. I'm trying to think, what is that big mountain? Or mountain trail or something that he pulled onto and backed into the church.
Cotton Simpson.
And that's where his vehicle was found the next day and stuff.
He was a questionable character. Cotton Simpson was not a decent guy. No, he was a pervert, and he was a pervert, and he was bragging about sleeping with mother and daughter over at 110. But was that Candace and Candace, or was it Candace and Summer? Cotton was a known alcoholic.
He was known as a meth cook. He was one of the biggest cooks in that area.
So he was known for cooking meth, and he's the one that set the mountain on fire, and then tried to play victim, like he was the one that caused it. He was cooking meth. That's what started it, but it got on the news like he was a victim. And
a lot of people wouldn't take Cotton serious, the law enforcement stuff, because they thought, he had a lot of brain trauma and stuff, and had a lot of brain surgeries and stuff, and they wouldn't take him serious because of a lot of that.
Who was they talking about that was a trucker?
A trucker?
A trucker surrounding,
I don't know.
Maybe Rick Crawford?
No, Marlena used to date a trucker, which was a Crawford, I think. I don't think his name. He lived out on Highway 93. That's the only trucker I know around right there.
That the first place he went when he got home was we pulled into where that shed is off Beach Creek, yeah.
But what Don told me, though, he told me that he went to his house, and when he pulled up, he could see the boys standing down next to the building, so he just pulled on down there from top to hill down that backside where Kim and Allie took and walked down that trail.
They were saying a trucker was spending the night with Candace or something. Early on, Ziggy, they were talking about some trucker guys sleeping with Candace.
I had never heard it.
Trucker guy. Well,
but
let's see. Who was rumored to be messing around with Candace?
Bill Benton.
Bill Benton?
Yeah, which they call Wild Bill.
Was he a trucker? No, he's too much of an alcoholic to be a trucker.
He worked at Bowen's a lot. That's about all. He was a landscaper, mostly all he done all his life.
Who's the trucker, guys? Do you guys remember a trucker being brought up early on? Where was he found? Cause of death? Well, at first it was ruled an accident, but Cotton's death was. But then I think they reopened it and are re-looking into it. Hey, Matthew. There's even a video with Brian Enton and Don where they both down at that shed with Don telling about what's the first place he went to was that shed. Wasn't Sherfy guy a trucker? And I think Dobbs drove a truck one time as well. Yeah, I was thinking Jackie Dobbs, but I don't think he didn't have anything going on with Candace. And you said, who was the Sherfy? I'm trying to remember who was rumored that was sleeping with over the years, like who I've heard about Candace having relations with. Cotton. Yeah, I don't know.
The only one I heard about was, Cotton mentioned it,
Oh, he said that they would have arguments with his wife and go over there and stay a couple nights. That's Bill Benton.
That's Bill Benton. That's Wild Bill.
Yep, that's Bill Benton.
Because they live, if you go out of Ben Hill to the stop sign, turn right, first house on the left is where they live.
Yep, his wife is Vicky, right?
Vicky Docks. They weren't never married.
Yeah, they're not married, but yeah, that's Bill Benton. Bill
And
Bitton is
Bill
definitely the one that, and he was, but
See,
I don't, but he wasn't a trucker.
No, he was a landscaper. That's all he ever done.
Yeah, he's a bad alcoholic, right?
Yeah, he's bad alcoholic.
And yeah, that's definitely who.
And he did stay in the bottom shed some.
He stayed at that bottom shed too.
That's the only place. I mean, I didn't even know he stayed up on the hill.
Who else? I'm trying to think. Was there anybody else who get in fights with their wife?
He's the only one that would fight down in there with the old lady and leave.
Yeah,
Like
I tried. I wanted
places.
like when I remember when I first talked to you and I asked you, I'm like, who should I talk to? Who do I need to talk to? You know, and like that was one of the people you told me to talk to was Bill Bitton or Vicky because Vicky
Because they was close.
and Marlena Crawford, but of course none of those people. I've never been able to get a hold of Bill Bitton.
Because I've been out Bill's a few times, Bill and Vicky's and Don and Candace would be there, you know, hanging out, drinking and stuff.
What would you go to Bill's for? Was he into drugs?
Huh?
What would you go to Bill's for? Was he into drugs or something?
Just a drinking buddy, I guess. I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
what would
Bill-
what would you go there for?
Oh, I'd go sell them dope, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did mess with Bill and Vicky some on dope.
Tom Hanks talking, Matthew. Not everybody can have such a what's such an amazing radio voice like you, Matthew. Was Marvin with Chad the day?
When Chad was on camera in my driveway on the 15th, he was by himself. So I don't know if before he was on camera, if he had let somebody out at Don and M's or took somebody to Don and M's or anything like that. But Chad was by himself when he was at 207 on camera and traveling by the 5 cameras.
And yeah, and Chad has a blue truck, but it wasn't the same blue truck.
No, Chad drives a big.
This doesn't have the tinted windows like
Chad
this one
drives
did.
a Ford truck, a 2-tone Ford truck, dark blue and silver on the bottom.
Yeah, I went all over town in
Extended
Churchill
cab.
searching him down. He's even made it hard for Fred to even talk to him. He's just really I don't know.
I've talked to Chad once since I've been out of jail.
Yeah, and pretty much just one. I don't know. I'm sure he knows that you're with me, and I know he is really, really private person. Plus, he doesn't want to. I'm sure doesn't want to bring any issues to Journey because his Chad's. He has a weird relationship with a woman that he's like been with their whole life, since they were kids. They're not married or anything, but they're like childhood sweethearts. But Chad ended up going down the wrong path, and she ended up going to college and nursing and stuff.
Oh, she's in nursing stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and so the relationship wasn't sustainable, but they're still really good friends to this day.
They don't live together or nothing.
They don't live together, but that woman is the one that has custody of Journey. And that is Marlena Crawford's sister. Half sister, I think.
Half sister. Francis is a Dykes and Marlena is a Crawford.
Yeah.
Francis has a brother named Lonnie Dykes, a full brother. And then he's got a half brother named Ricky Crawford.
I remember when JLR was at the horse stables, a worker mentioned that TBI told them Summer was seen alive at home. Did any agencies say anything like that to Fred? Did you hear anything about them seeing... TBI told them Summer was seen alive at home. Yeah, did you ever
I've
hear
never heard that.
anything about her being seen alive that day anywhere? Like the police saying that any proof of her being alive?
No, I never heard them. None of them say that she was seen alive that day. You know, not on the whales and stuff. The last time she was seen,
But
I mean, the last time she was on camera in motion was at Walgreens. That they confirmed that, you know, in the video, if it was on the 15th, that they done that video at the lake.
yeah, that we don't. If that was
That's
actually,
kind of up in the air, you know.
yeah, we don't. So you didn't. He just didn't ever witness anything about that. But Cotton Simpson was a big guy over the horse stables.
See, Cotton Simpson used to take care of Warriors Pike. He was the maintenance man and stuff over Warriors Pike Park for years.
Yeah. Is there some kind of message with that fire that happened at Warriors Path, like, or at the stables? You know, here that kind of just disappeared. That when was that? Like 6 months ago. That kind of happened, and then just nobody's talked about.
It was strange before the visual that day. You know, it happened 5 o'clock that morning.
Oh, right, because that was supposed to be. It would have been June.
Day of the vigil that it burned.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I don't even know where the horse stables was even at Warriors Path, to be honest about it.
Fred, many people looking at you sideways because of the tree you cut out to hide your stash.
The tree I cut out to
That
get
wasn't
honey.
To get honey. It wasn't freaking to hide a stash. What? You guys need to stop making up shit. You just literally made that up, Bushi. Or you got that off of a hate channel, because that was never said.
That was a big beech tree that wild bees had got in, honeybees, and made. I cut it out. The raw
Fred's
beans.
big about living off the land and stuff. I always see him picking freaking random stuff and eating it, and like.
See where I had it cut out.
He knows all about berries and all kinds of stuff to different like uses, and he's been a country boy. He grew up out there. He knows about all that stuff. So yeah.
I'm surprised they ain't found the other bee trees that's on the property that's got the same hole cut in that there's still bees in.
And why? I mean, I don't know why you say that, because Fred's been so open about about his drug stuff. So there's no reason to just make up stories. Like he would tell you where he hid his dope. It's not, you know, like at this point it doesn't matter. So we don't need to.
My time for it.
One of the places that he was hiding money was, it was found, and that's the whole reason why. His sister, certain people were acting like they were going up there to search, but really were going up there searching for money.
Yeah, they was tearing their camper up. They're looking everywhere, through the floors, the walls, everything. They did find money in the bedposts.
Yeah, I was about to say that, but I didn't know if you wanted me to say it or not.
Yeah, okay. It's done gone, so.
Yeah.
Not counting the 27,000 cash they got out of the car of my Bobo.
So, yeah.
Why do you think they went through all my cars and got rid of them? Because they was trying to find the dope and money I had in the vehicles.
Let's see. A stash hole for exchange. No. Would you stash stuff for somebody to come back and put money? No. They'll steal. That's how. Why would you? That's a good way to get robbed.
And when Don put me out like I was the biggest meth dealer in there, there was several people from YouTube and stuff that tried to rob me and shit.
Yeah, you can't just go. You can't trust a freaking addict to leave the money in a freaking stash spot. I mean,
Me as a dealer, why would I stash something for another dealer? It don't even make sense.
Well, I guess
'Cause that'd be cutting my throat.
Oh well, I guess you're stashing stuff for buyers so that they're not handing you money directly or something. Is what I don't know. What if that's what they're trying to say?
I don't know what they're trying to say.
So. Oh, I know, Jim. I can tell. I can tell when somebody's trolling, but I have nothing. There's nothing to hide, so we don't want to answering the questions. Like, but I can tell when people are like being passive aggressive or trying to. I mean, but there's nothing to hide. So there's no reason. But I find it funny though when people come in and they say things like, "Oh, didn't you do this or did you know?" And it's like they act like it's some kind of major like. Shocking info, and it's like
the tree with the hole in. If they would take pictures of the inside of it, you can still see the honeycombs in it. I mean, they just took a picture of it without the piece set back in.
No, I love Pizza. He did not make it to the junkyard. No cars were towed out of the hauler that day. The only vehicle that, or any type of anything that was towed was a bike that was brought in the hauler. She twisted everything that you just said about the dog scent. So I guess somebody's live and they twisted everything that was said about that you had said about the dog scent or whatever. Yeah. Is what I'm hearing. So one of them went live and they
always twisted some way to meet their narrative, you know.
Yeah, I mean you guys. It's just how it goes on here, but that's fine. Let's distract from the real thing. Like, of course, somebody's going to go live and distract from the fact that they lied to all their viewers.
How the tree come about was my sister's one that fucking put it out there to a hate channel, 6 Up and stuff.
Yeah, I made it look like it was something else.
And she's the one that went in and doing everything looking for the dope and money and stuff. And the only reason she was even up there, it wasn't even about summer whales.
Do you know how old the Beach Creek community is? Somebody was asking that. How old the Beach Creek community is?
Oh, hell. What people don't realize, Beach Creek used to went from Ben Hill Road to Hawkins, South Carolina, a mile stretch. But now they consider from Mountain View in Sullivan County all the way to Goshen Valley on lower end, which is about 15 mile stretch, Beach Creek now. Beach Creek back in the day was just a mile stretch, which is considered Dyke's Mill now.
Okay.
From Ben Hill to Hawkins, South Carolina.
Yeah, when they say that Fred has been arrested for cooking, and we all know that's a fucking lie. I know, but it's also it's how Tennessee. It's also the fault of how Tennessee puts how they state stuff in their
if you get caught with any
court
kind of
records
methamphetamine in Hawkins County or in the state of Tennessee, it's always a manufacturing charge that goes with that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No matter if it's anything over a half a gram of dope, you get a manufacturing charge with it.
I know, and then they just have the spectrum of what they can charge you, how many years they can give you.
Yeah.
And if you were manufacturing, you were going to get the higher end of that spectrum. If it was possession, it's going to be the lower end.
See, just like from a half a
or
gram,
selling,
from a half a gram to 55 grams of methamphetamine is the same charge. It don't go up a little bit each gram. From a half a gram to 55 grams, same charge.
And it will say manufacturing.
Yep.
Even though it's a selling. It will say manufacturing, selling, or delivery.
Just like me, the first buy they made was 1.75 grams, which they considered it 55 grams because there's no guideline in between it. They do that to make it look better on their end. And the second buy was 3.49 grams, and they considered it 55 grams.
I was just thinking it was a half a gram that you sold. I didn't think it was. I thought it was a very small amount. But I don't know how much a gram is in like meth or anything. I don't know how much.
I sold a half a ball and a ball.
Oh yeah, crazy mom. I know that there's people in here asking questions and trying to troll to try to get stuff that they can spin and twist in their lives and turn it around. Like the whole sense that they're gonna stick to like literally the one or two little things that they've found that they feel like they can use to make Fred look suspicious, and they're going to stick to it, constantly trying to, for reasons I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter if it's about Summer Wells. Why are you worried about any type of Fred's experience? I don't understand. Wouldn't you want everybody interviewed and talked to who was a witness that day? Or, I mean, because if you ask me, I think that's pretty damning evidence, seeing somebody on the road who claims that they weren't on the road. I bet manufacturing charges are just to get more money from people they arrest. I'm sure there are people who manufacture, but for the ones who are just in possession, it sounds like a money gimmick. Yeah, $7,000, guys, is how much those charges cost. $7,000.
I mean, it would be stupid on my behalf to try to manufacture.
Actually, it's going to be $9,000 after all is said and done, because of $2,000 here it's costing.
I mean, why would I try to manufacture meth when I can buy it 10 times cheaper, already manufactured,
and ready to go, and not have to blow up shit? Yeah.
I was buying it for a little bit of nothing, considering.
Right. So, guys,
if I was making it, you couldn't make an ounce for what I was buying a pound for. So why would I take a big risk of making an ounce of dope when I can buy a pound for the same price?
Trying to get info for their Netflix thing, right, Shorty? Yeah. I know. I love pizza. I don't know. Like, obviously, since they still haven't shown the footage that they got while they were down there, I'm guessing things are still up in the air with this documentary that they're making or whatever. I don't know, because otherwise, if it wasn't a thing or wasn't going to happen, they could probably go ahead and show the footage that they got. But right now, they're under contract. That all that footage is under contract, and I guess property of whoever the Discovery, I guess. Oh, Chasing Truth, Jam 420. You know, the know-it-all, the moral police. So, anyways, I'm not going back and forth with these fools every day of my life for eternity. But, you know, I feel like something like this was extremely important and necessary to bring up more than just the one time. And yeah. So, I just think it's such hypocrisy that the ones that are a part of this are the main ones that try to, are a part of all these like review channels, tragedy pimp review channels, when they're the biggest fucking tragedy pimps of all, and keeping a secret because they know it to be the truth. Why would it be a secret? There's something that they're ashamed of. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a secret. They could say that they did all this but not tell the details. This is a pretty wild conspiracy. What's the conspiracy, Chasing? Are you saying you weren't a part of the... What is the conspiracy? It happened. Now you're trying to say this documentary thing did not happen? Is she really going to try to say it did not happen? It's not a conspiracy. This is a pretty wild conspiracy. Funny how you say this is you just say something completely vague and not specific because you don't want, what is this? What is this supposed to mean? Can you elaborate? Which part is the crazy conspiracy? Because it's true. It's not a conspiracy, it's true. You guys were absolutely, and yes, you too, were a main part in this. My story? What are you talking about, Chasing? See, this is what liars do. They can't be specific. That's exactly how their buddy Andy Bernard is. Can't be specific. It's all like, I don't know. Oh, he's a liar. He's a drug dealer. But it can't be any specific. Like, what is it that was lied about? What is the conspiracy? What is the lies? You're saying that I'm lying and causing basically dog whistling is what you're trying to say. Accuse me of lying. So what is it I'm lying about? Because all I've said is that you were buddies with Don and Candace as soon as you were done with that little documentary that you went out to film for. Now you guys are best friends, buddies on Facebook. You're fake. You're disgusting. You're a complete disgrace. Such a sellout. I've said it before and I'll say it again. A phony. And it's not changing. Oh, I'm sure you would say it would be just amazing for summer. You weren't planning? That wasn't your plan? Wasn't what you were out there doing, Chasing? Yes, you were. Did you sign an NDA, Chasing? Did you sign any papers? You're a fucking liar. Oh, I love how she's turning around. I don't want people to know about summer. No, you're trying to turn it around and put this fake narrative as if the parents didn't have anything to do with their child missing. We'll leave out Andy. You are such a sellout. You go there and you get this opportunity to be in the documentary and suddenly, oh, we're not going to talk about Summer Wells anymore. You acted like it was for some kind of good morale, some kind of good cause. But no, it was really for your own fucking gain because you were doing a documentary. And that's the whole planning. Yes, you signed paperwork for a documentary. Did you not? You never signed an NDA? Okay. Okay, so that was never, you were never a part of that. You were never in the planning of this documentary. Okay, Chasing. You were one of them that suddenly went quiet. There's at the same time they did. Okay. Why don't you go back to your life? You can skedaddle now. Provide proof. Provide proof. Provide proof. That's what come on, just go. Just please. I've lost it. You're sitting here lying that you weren't a part of this. I know for a fact. You're sitting here telling me you weren't a part of something that I know for a fact happened. It's like you were definitely a part of it, and you're sitting here acting like it didn't ever happen at all. Like you have no idea what I'm talking about. I've just completely gone crazy. I've just lost my mind, right? That's what I'm talking about, Chasing, about building a narrative. And my problem with this. That's exactly my issue with this. Is how you're trying to make a narrative when you're sitting here butting up with Dawn and Candace all of a sudden, and then also when you are a part of, you lied to your whole community about what you were doing out there, suddenly went dark, you went ghost, and you lied to everybody. Were you not a part of this? That is absolutely not true, Southpaw. And I already knew that you were not here, that you were a part of them. That is absolutely not true. My heart is for Summer Wells and the truth. And if Fred saw somebody on the road, if that's kept out, that's a big deal. That's the problem. And their main person, they're trying to paint Andy as something that he's not, is the issue. And that's why they're so mad and focused on me and Fred. Because we're making their buddy look a certain way, and it's affecting their whole documentary plans. Aubrey's another one of them. I don't know what you guys are telling me you want me to prove. Prove what? They've already admitted it. Tiffany came in here and admitted that she and her and Vinny were a part of it. It happened. There's nothing to lie. There's nothing for me to prove. I don't have anything to prove. It's on them. The burden on, she's the one saying that they had nothing to do with a documentary. So nothing should ever come out to the contrary, ever. Okay. All right, guys. Burden on proof is on the accuser. Well, this isn't the court of law, Chasing. You absolutely were a part of it, Chasing. I don't know why you're lying. Why are you lying? You're sitting here saying you weren't a part of it. And that's all I'm saying. I don't understand what burden of proof. I'm just saying that you were a part of it. And you're saying you weren't. You were there with them. You were with them. I've been around for years. There's people here who have been here for years and remember that far back, Chasing. Don't you treating everybody here like they're stupid, like we don't remember. Thank you for blocking her. God, annoying. Trying to gaslight and freaking manipulate people into trying to act like she wasn't a part of. Everybody who was here has been here since the beginning, can remember she was a part of that whole thing. And, and isn't that funny too, how she said, I think a documentary would be good for summer? Isn't that funny how she said that, but then tried to turn around and say that she wasn't a part of it? I think it's funny how she added that in there. Well, I think it would be a good thing for a documentary. Nobody said it wouldn't be a good thing for a documentary. But funny how you're sitting there defending the idea when you're in here trying to defend yourself and say you're not a part of it. But okay. But I never said a documentary is a bad thing. Actually, I think it would be good to bring more attention. Anything that's going to bring attention to summer being gone is good. But if you're going to sit there and you're going to paint a narrative about what happened, and you're going to purposely avoid bringing certain things up so you can paint a narrative, that's a problem. I'm sorry. And if you want to paint that and act and play pretend that it's because, they didn't involve Fred, and that's what I'm mad about. If that's what you want to play pretend and manipulate, when Fred doesn't even, getting him to be involved in something like that would be like pulling teeth. I don't even know if I could even convince Fred to be a part of such a thing. He's very, very private. So, no, my issue is you're trying to make him look a certain way and make Andy look a certain way and manipulate the audience, the public. That's the issue. And I'm not going to keep repeating it. And you know that's the issue. So stop trying to turn it around on me like my intentions are skewed. Yeah, and I find it so funny that they could come in here and say things about Fred and their troll accounts being this, I married a prime suspect. That's funny. Who's Don and Candace? Your buddies? Did you forget about them? Or what about Andy Bernard? All three of those are way more sus combined than Fred Hill. Sorry. You can believe in your little fantasy mind and lie to yourself. That's all. You're only lying to yourself. And you think you may have fooled a bunch of people in the community for some time, but the truth always comes to light. And I'm just going to go ahead and go now and take a break because really, there's really nothing has happened. This was something that was started 2 years ago and has been in the works. It's already, it's not like something that anything I could say to go back in time or whatever. So, but that's just my opinion on it. I'm not going to keep fucking talking about it, but my opinion is not going to fucking change. Because to me, it was obvious what they were fucking doing. And for somebody who's seen everything play out, and it's been here since the beginning, you can't fool me. You can fool the people who haven't been here this whole time. They made sure their faces were on the news at every vigil. I know. Oh, Summer's Day. Oh, aren't they part of Summer's Day? They're such great Summer's Day. So, anyways, guys, they should have never, ever, it should have never been like this. It should have never, that's why now it makes sense. Like, you guys, you know how I always told you guys I didn't understand why we weren't all working together? And why it always baffled me that what they were doing? I mean, I suspected this, and my intuition was telling me this a couple years ago, but I didn't have, like, I didn't know. And yes, I do remember Benny talking about it a little bit and stuff, but I don't know. I'm just repeating myself at this point. I'm not gonna, that to me, I think that now people who are new and seeing it just like now, like if they're coming in looking at it now, they would be like, I wouldn't see the big deal and would think, oh, she's just mad because she's not a part of it or something, which I don't, you guys, I was supposed to be a part of the Heels on the Ground. Like, I was literally the very first person asked by Molly Golightly and Justin. It was going to be me, Justin, Molly Golightly. Like, if I wanted attention, I knew I could get it and get subs by doing that. Okay? So it's not. And if you want to pretend that that's what it is and lie to yourself, it's fine. But I don't want to lie to myself. I kind of like to figure out what happened to Summer Wells. And if I lie to myself, it's just going to confuse things. I've tried though, Yelza. I've tried to talk to her. I've tried. Trust me, this is not my first time like trying to talk to Chasing. And because, you know, I used to think, oh, she seems pretty, you know, she talks well and she's good at talking, you know, and I thought she seemed pretty intelligent. But now, over time, over the years, I've seen how manipulative she is and how much of a know-it-all. Yeah, manipulative. Just not a good person. Your buddies with Dawn and Candace. Bye. Next. At this point, if your buddies with Dawn and Candace, like, go away, please. It's one thing, though, trying to get information, but no, they're just fake completely. So, all right, guys. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Yep, Jam. Exactly, Lily Lou. I really am. And I can't help those who want to believe differently so it fits their narrative or so it can fit what they want to believe about Fred or me, so it fits like their whole theory in the Summer Wells case. Fine, lie to yourself. I don't care. You're not fooling me. I know. I'll tell you that. So, all right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thank you, Lily Lou. Yeah, I will. I'm gonna go for a walk or something. Figure out dinner. Chris says, hi, Ziggy. Love you both. Chris, I hope you guys are doing well today. Thank you, Chris. We hope you're doing well as well. Oh, hey, Holly. Good to see you. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.